Hey, good morning. Welcome in. Let's see who we're going to go ahead and get a reading for today. All right, Gemini, this one's for you. Gemini, we're talking about your fourth house of home, safety, security, right? Ancestral lineage. And we're also talking a little bit about Saturn and tests and lessons and all that good stuff. Let's see what Saturn's influence has on the fourth house for you, Gemini. Now, obviously, take this as it resonates. This could be for Gemini and Gemini placements. So, if you're not a Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus Gemini, but you do have Saturn in whatever house Gemini resides in, this could be for you. There could be something in here for you. And if we think about Gemini, Gemini is the master communicator. It rules the stories we tell others and ourselves. Right? What stories have been told about your legacy, your ancestry, your home? Let's explore. Let's see what messages want to come through for Gemini. Okay, there we are. So we have tell shame to suck it, face up. And then we have expect a miracle beneath that. All right, so Gemini, who's been keeping you down? What belief systems of your own have been keeping you down? What aren't you proud of? Something's going to come in and shake things up, though. We do have a full moon in Libra happening in just a few days. So, if you're a Gemini rising, does that not put Libra in or around your fourth house? What are you letting go? What justice is coming in for you, Gemini? Yeah, that would. Yep. All right, let's see. More information for Gemini this morning. Expect a miracle. One more. We have creativity. So Gemini, have you not been celebrated for your creativity at home? In the distance, it's closer than you think, right? This feels, there's something to do with that Libra energy, I feel. We'll see what comes out in the tarot, but I do believe that this Libra full moon energy is going to represent a shift or a change for you. You're going to be able to let go of maybe a relationship or a belief system that you've held closely for some time, but it actually, right, is something that's kept you small or kept you, hidden in a sense where you didn't want to shine or show off your creativity. Now, as the great communicator, you're often a really articulate storyteller, and creativity kind of shines in the way that you communicate. And, right, have you not embraced those gifts, or has something happened to you in your life where maybe you were told not to embrace those gifts, or those gifts were not celebrated, and rather you've sort of cowered away and opted not to be as big or I don't know, as fun as you ultimately could be. That's all you're definitely breaking out of that shell. You're over it. And I love that. So anything where you felt shameful, yep. So your energy here at the top is going to be the 9 of Wands. It's breaking the patterns. So you're here to break this pattern. And maybe this full moon, this of justice is here to, to level the score here for you. It could exactly be that miracle, right? That helps you just see things clearly and move on. All right, Gemini. Saturn's here to test you. So you've been putting in the work. Perhaps this is just naturally around other aspects of your belief system, but now you need to kind of call this into scope. All right, let's see what else the tarot has for you here, Gemini. Opportunity, challenge, outcome for Gemini, please. Ready to break those patterns. Okay. Your opportunity is to move forward, even though you may not see it clearly just yet. And that, right, that might be part of the struggle. Do you like a sure bet? Do you like a sure thing? You're being asked to, this is the Saturn component of this, right? You're being asked to slow down, evaluate the options that are being presented to you. You know that you do need to move forward. So you have sort of this instinctual push to move forward and change and to evolve, right? But with the presence of Saturn here and the Seven of Cups, it's like, well, which way do I go? Which way do I go? And I think that's going to be different for everybody. But if you take a look at the patterns in which you've had historically that tend to get you stuck in situations that may not be that good for you, understand those behaviors as you come in to evaluate your options. So with Gemini here, do you not ask strong questions? Do you not get all the information? Gemini likes to have lots of data before making its decision. Arguably, right, maybe too much data. But if you've not asked a lot of questions about opportunities in the past, you might be, getting tested to do so that you ultimately find the path that's in alignment with your creativity, one that allows you to be you in all the best ways you are, right? You don't have to kind of hide or shrink or be small. So that's your opportunity, is to kind of pump the brakes, know that you're moving forward. You're at sort of this divine crossroads here. And just recognize that you might have multiple opportunities heading your way. And it's a good time to employ the energy of Gemini to be curious and to learn about what those opportunities are for you. So I'm going to take these two as your challenge. Yeah. So in your challenge position, you have the Ace of Cups and the Five of Pentacles. So you want to do something new. You want to follow your heart, right? That creativity. That's usually pretty unconventional wisdom, right? We, as children, we're taught to dream, but then as you kind of reach that adolescent age where it's time to, join society, I don't know, some of those dreams don't necessarily get celebrated as much, and you're asked to prioritize conventional wisdom. So, depending on where you are, if you've kind of gone down that path, as so many of us have, now you're feeling a little stuck, feeling a little, I don't know, uninspired, I think. But the challenge is, right, will you follow your heart? Will you be brave enough to move forward and have that change of, the Five of Pentacles is obviously a change in the material sense. A lot of times it talks about, in more traditional decks, you'll see she's actually leading somebody out in the cold. So, or leading somebody from out in the cold. But there's nobody else here. It's just her. She's just going on a new path. So again, this gives me the sense that you're like really breaking away from this idea that you need to carry the load. You're not leading somebody in from the cold anymore, right? You're just on your own journey. And while the change might be uncomfortable, it's not happening on a warm summer day at the ocean by any means. This is where it's Saturn. Like, what are you willing to do to align with your heart? Because we've gotten into traps here, right? I think if we think about corporate hierarchical systems, it's climb the ladder, chase the success, right? There's a new carrot at every rung, and do you ever really reach the top? Often not. I think if you're going to be tracked, into those types of roles, you're tracked into those types of roles, and pretty early on that you're here to climb and grind. So have you realized that you're at your glass ceiling, right? And what are you willing to give up? What are you willing to release in order to be more fulfilled? All right, what's the outcome energy? 5 of Swords. Now, the 5 of Swords in a lot of decks reminds me of like manipulation and unfair advantage. But because in this deck, she's wearing the white cloak and she's standing so strong and she's kind of banishing the darkness here, I actually like this 5 of Swords quite a bit more than most. It's really standing your ground. Your opportunity is to stand your ground and say no more, right? This shadowy energy that has allowed you to sort of fall into the manipulation of just modern societal tracking or people around you, family systems that have said, hey, you got to do this way and this is what we expect of you, and you kind of fall into the familial patterns that haven't really brought you happiness or a sense of fulfillment. This is your opportunity to hold the line, break the pattern with the 9 of Wands, and say, I'm done with it. I'm done with it. Be gone, right? We don't need this around. I'm stronger than that. I want the light. I want light energy. So I think that's really lovely, actually. I think, you know that you're here. Yep. The Hanged One just jumped. So with that jumping out, as we're shuffling for what you don't see coming, right, that gives me energy of Pisces. Pisces is illusion, right? Can represent illusion, not seeing things clearly. All right, we've got a lot talking at us. What haven't you been seeing clearly? We have the Lovers, so the people that you partner with, and or Gemini, the stories you tell. But let's see. Yeah. How they've kept you complacent but not fulfilled, right? So you're a little despondent, a little bored. It's okay, but there's definitely more to be offered here. And what is that? That's you becoming the Empress. You want to dream. You want to create. Gemini, you want so much more than to be a cog in a wheel. And as well you should. Well, this is pretty clear to me. I don't know if it's clear to you, my dears. Let's get a little bit of advice for you. What do you need to be on the lookout for there, Gemini? I mean, this week is going to avail itself something, for you to decide on, or at least start to explore. Bear this in mind, right? Look for your immediate reaction to certain situations, and does that look like things? Yeah. Does that look like steps you've taken in the past that have gotten you stuck? You've moved too quickly, you're all honeymoon, no chill. And then you're stuck, and then you get sort of bored. You feel like you're despondent. You don't really, enjoy the work you're doing or the people you're partnered with, right? Don't run. Don't run. Be intentional during this cycle here, because it's a test. So there will be options that maybe, kind of lead you down a path of another test. It might not be, right, the final exam, but you're always going to get tested. But there will be things that ultimately lead you to kind of repeat the cycle until you break it, right? And so you're being absolutely cautioned to be very, very, very mindful on evaluating your options, trying to see beyond the veil, right? Really going within yourself, breaking this cycle of manipulation. You see it clearly. You're ready to banish all of that energy from your life, because your advice is to follow your joy, the sun, fifth house energy, Leo energy. Leo energy. Oh, I can't get this. Creativity, joy. This is what you're out for, Gemini. This is where you feel fulfilled. So that's what we're looking for here. Run that down. Follow that energy. Creator energy. You can see in this one here, she's holding a little baby, right? Empress energy, creating something new for you. Maybe you do want actually a child, a physical child. But maybe you are starting a new project or business that is truly yours, your new baby, right? And if you've thought historically that you couldn't do it, right, you're being asked to break that pattern by way of the stories, Gemini, that you tell yourself. Okay? It's looking bright. It could also indicate that a lot of this is going to lift by Leo season. So end of July into August. North Node is going to move into Leo in August. So, take a 30, 60, 90-day view on a lot of these options that are coming your way, and like, where is that going to get me? Don't decide based upon what it looks like on April 1st. Try and decide on what it's going to look like 90 days, 120 days, right? Do your multiplication tables with your children to kind of roll it out, slow roll it, see what it's going to look like, 90 days from now, a year from now, 2 years from now. What's the bridge you're building, and where are you going? How do you get to that joy? And what options can you accept that are ultimately going to lead you there, set you up to reach that opportunity? Okay. Lots of angels just fell out. All right, so we have the angel of soulmates. We have the angel of faith. And we have the angel of balance. And so really quick, I'm going to read you the angel of balance, and then we'll leave you, because that is a 2 card. 2s represent choice points and divine crossroads. So, all right. So angel of balance, you are in a calm and balanced state of mind. You will make the right decisions for your future. So if anything I've shared with you here today gives you anxiety or a sense of nervousness that you might get it wrong, trust that you will get this right. It says your angel of balance is here to help calm and still your mind and assist you to regain balance in your life. Is the issue you are worrying about due to friends or family members putting you off balance and pulling you into their own issues? If so, ask your angel of balance to guide you so you can make the best decision for your own growth, as well as for the friends or family members in this situation. If the situation concerns a decision within your own personal life, sit back and take the time to review the current issue. Write a list separating the for and against considerations regarding the decision you are struggling with. Next, take your time in deciding what direction feels right to you. Focus on the decision that allows you to feel the most balance and calmness in your life. Once you have reached this decision, surrender any worries you have to your angel of balance, and she will take care of the finer details of your decision. Be safe in the knowledge that you have made the right decision, and you will begin to feel that your life is back in balance and on the right track. The affirmation for you today is I am balanced and grounded. My angel of balance is with me to assist me in making the right decision. All right, Gemini, you got everything you need. Call upon the angel of balance to help you in this decision. Take your time, but trust that you're moving forward. That's for you.